We do have a couple of our colleagues, Directors Maston and Parr, who are joining us virtually. And in order for the Just Cause, we have to have video and audio. So we'll continue to work on that. But meanwhile, we can continue our meeting, or we can start our meeting as long as we don't take action items going forward. So with that, I would like to call the meeting to order. The Board of Directors from Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Everyone, please note that this meeting is being recorded, and thank you everyone for joining us today in person and through our audio option. And with that, Madam Secretary, can you please call the roll?
Thank you. I'm going to start with Director Cochran.
Here.
Devlin.
Here.
Giudice.
Here.
Hernandez. Here. Hill.
Here.
Maston.
Here.
Say again.
Here.
There we go. Thank you. Colton Peters is absent. Parr is not with us yet. Parrish is absent. Rodoni is absent. Snyder is absent. Thier is absent. Garbarina. Present. Thank you. Hardiman.
Here.
And President Rabbit.
Here.
Thank you. We are one shy of the quorum.
So we're one shy of a quorum, and if we get Director Parr's video to work, we're good to go. Or if another director walks in the room, we're good to go. But we do have some things that we can take care of prior to that. So again, as a reminder, please make sure to turn on your mics when you open up for director's discussion so everyone can hear. For those online, please raise your hand and the secretary or I will call on you accordingly. If we missed your raised hand, please speak up. Following any discussion, we will take appropriate vote. Please follow along by referring to the page numbers located in the bottom right-hand corner of the meeting packet. Director Cochran, it's good to see you. Please lead us in today's Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director. We'll move on to public comment. And if there's any, Madam Secretary, can you please lead us through public comment?
Thank you. We're going to take public comment for any and all items on today's agenda. If you want to speak on an item on today's agenda or address this board, I'll call your name according to the cards I received. And please join us at the end of the table. Before I move to those that are attending online, you have 3 minutes. Thank you for being patient, by the way. First person we're going to introduce, Dave Rohde. Go ahead and join us at the end of the table, Dave.
Good morning. My name is Dave Rohde. I'm the San Francisco Policy Co-Chair for Al Gore's Climate Reality Project. I'd like to start by thanking Dennis Mulligan and Justine Bach for working with me to set up a meeting with Bay Area climate leaders. We hope to nail down a date soon. Meanwhile, you may have heard Trump's recent comment about climate change. He said climate scientists are now admitting that they were wrong. He's right, but not in the way he intended. Most climate scientists are now admitting that they were much too conservative in their estimates of the speed and impact of climate change. Extreme weather events, including hurricanes, atmospheric rivers, heat domes, are occurring with greater intensity and frequency than originally predicted. Sea levels are rising faster than the earlier models showed, and wildfires and droughts are more pervasive. A couple of weeks ago, I spent a day with Al Gore. It was a big screen webinar for new climate leaders. Some of the highlights from his 3-hour speech. Nearly half of the lower 48 states are experiencing a drought this year, which includes 280 million acres of U.S. crops. Desertification, fertile lands turning into desert, is advancing around the globe at a rate of 400,000 square miles per year. According to the UN IPCC, over 75% of the land's area is already degraded, and if current trends continue, that figure could surpass 90% by 2050. The Institute of Economics and Peace predicted that the climate crisis will displace at least 200 million people by 2050. And with the likelihood of unlivable temperatures blanketing countries near the equator, that figure could go as high as 1.2 billion climate refugees in the next 25 years. And that's just what's happening on land. As you know, 71% of the Earth is covered by water. If it weren't, we'd already be in the midst of climate catastrophe. The ocean has absorbed 91% of the excess heat trapped in Earth climate systems by our excessive use of fossil fuels. Increasing ocean heat and the resulting expansion of water molecules is a primary cause of rising sea levels. All naturally occurring weather events like El Niños and hurricanes will continue to be accelerated by warmer oceans. Al Gore defined this as weather on steroids. The oceans have also absorbed 30% of our excess CO2, which is making the water more acidic, disturbing sea life and the seafood we depend on. These facts, backed by the UN, NOAA, NASA, and a dozen other climate agencies around the world, remind us that we must transition to clean energy as soon as humanly possible, and we need to keep looking at these facts in order to avoid what's called the gray rhino effect, ignoring the 2-ton beast charging toward us because it sort of blends in with the jungle background. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Rohde. Our next speaker is Shane Weinstein. Shane, please join us at the end of the table.
Good morning, Board. Shane Weinstein, President, ATU Local 1575. I think I'd get myself in a lot of trouble if 6 bus operators were being recognized today with 20 plus years of service and I didn't get my booty in this seat and say something about them. I want to recognize Diego Villabona for 25 years of service. I want to recognize Dexter Senegar for 25 years of service. I want to recognize Kevin Collins for 25 years of service. I want to recognize Brian Giroux for 20 years of service. And I'm going to recognize the 2 quitters who are in the room right now who became supervisors, Chris Wade of 25 years and Tomas Gutierrez of 20 years as well. These are all fantastic bus operators. They're fantastic supervisors. But more than that, they're family men who show up and contribute to the district on a daily basis, many of them spending 14 hours a day at work. The one thing I do want to say is there's a lot of negativity in the general manager's report about funding and about lawsuits and all of that, but there's a lot of positivity that's going on right now as well. And I do believe that the operators, and especially those who have spent 20 and 25 years here, deserve to hear what that positivity is. So if we can report on that, that would be fantastic. But I just wanted to recognize them for what they contribute to this district on a daily basis. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you to our 2 speakers today. Justine, I'm going to have you introduce the people on your public line, and we have no more speakers in the room.
Certainly, thank you. Our first speaker this morning is Lois. Lois, go ahead. You'll have 3 minutes.
Okay, good morning, Board and all other attendees. Thank you so much for having this meeting. My name is Lois, and I have been a committed, loyal Golden Gate Transit commuter for the past 20 years, and I'm advocating today to reinstate canceled daily Route 101 stops at Spencer Avenue, as it is an essential for presenting tranquility and transit equity, and the impracticability that the connectivity and practical transit options for commuters are not available at this time. It is not only myself that is greatly impacted by the discontinuation of the 101 Spencer stop during non-commute hours, but many others. There were 275 people who signed a petition to reinstate the 101 when you discontinued the 150. In severe service reduction and the elimination of all-day, 7-day-a-week turns at the Spencer are very difficult for all of us. It's disturbing for non-peak hours communities. The equity and accessibility, heading midday and weekend stops unfairly penalize vulnerable populations who rely on public transportation, including the elderly, middle school students, tourists, and workers without the viable alternative transportation during the day. Although you say there are many other ways to get to the city, personally for me, it has contributed an hour of my commute per day, an unsafe vulnerability if I do take the 120 home at Mission. Personally, the other day, there was a homeless person almost attacked me. That was only the second time I took the 120 to see if it was a different experience. Also, the 120, the car accident, which we were delayed 1 hour. And if there was a Spencer stop, we could have taken the 114 or the 132 that stopped at Spencer. There's not a viable alternative. There's those individuals who work during non-commute hours who are greatly impacted. And we're very dissatisfied, and we are hoping that you will reconsider reinstating the 101 on non-commute hours at Spencer Avenue. It promotes transit ridership, making transit less convenient, conflicts with the board's regional goals to reduce traffic congestion and lower carbon emissions along the highway congestion of 101. I now mostly drive, and I have cut my work hours in San Francisco due to the change in your schedule. Spencer Avenue serves as a crucial access point for visitors and recreation
We're at
people.
3 minutes.
Okay, thank you for
Lois, you've reached your 3 minutes.
Thank you for reinstating the 101 at Spencer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker this morning is Sprague Turpin. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good morning. I also just wanted to echo the request, as I've shared with this board previously, to reinstate some degree of service at Spencer Avenue for reasons that have been shared repeatedly. And if I may also respectfully mention a petition which I had started on this topic, garnered, I think, close to 320 or something like that number of signatures. So there is support. You know, I do appreciate efficient operation of transit services, of course, but also it's a shame to see Golden Gate Transit's network lose loose. So please, especially if your ridership numbers have gone down in light of MassDOT changes, it would be wonderful to see reinstatement of a limited number of 101 buses servicing Spencer 7 days a week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker this morning is John Holden. John, go ahead, please.
Yes. Good morning, President Rabbit and the board. My name is John Holden. I am a native of San Francisco, born and raised in North Beach at St. Francis Hospital. I also worked for the Golden Gate Bridge as a bus operator. I would like to say that the happy birthday to the bridge. The bridge is going to be 89 years old on Wednesday, the 27th. And what did 10-year-old kids do in 1970? Well, we used to, before phones, we used to ride our bikes down to the playground, have a meeting, and we would decide to ride across the Golden Gate Bridge and take the ferry home, which started in 1970 in the summer. And that's what we did many, many times. And so I would just like to give props to the Golden Gate Bridge. I heard the report. He needs a lot of help. He's getting older, and he needs quite a bit of support and love to keep going for another 89 years. So I would hope that the board and the directors can support the bridge. And I would also like to say that, it's my favorite part of the job as a bus operator was coming up Doyle Drive and people that were tourists see the bridge for the first time. It was just amazing, the gas and the excitement of when they first see the Golden Gate Bridge. So I would just like to say, we seem to be heading into kind of financial difficulty times with the bond market and everything else. Please save the bridge. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
President Rabbit, I would like to poll the room one last time just to ensure that we don't have any other speakers this morning, if you don't mind.
Please do.
Thank you. If you've joined this morning and you'd like to make public comments, please press ** to unmute yourself and let me know. Okay, I'm not hearing anyone else. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. I will say that kids in the Sunset District also made their way to the Golden Gate Bridge on occasion on their bikes. Stingrays were built pretty solid back then. Do appreciate the comments and would like to announce with the arrival of Director Thier, we have 9 directors here in the room. We have 1 with a just cause exception with audio and video online, so we do have a quorum. So with that, we'll move on then to the consent calendar. And I want to thank everyone for their comments. And moving on to the consent calendar, there are basically 2 items on the consent. We approve the minutes of our previous committee meetings and board of directors meeting and the ratification of previous actions by the auditor controller. I'll look to my colleagues to see if there's any questions, comments, or concerns on the consent calendar items. Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. I'll ask if there's any public comment on the consent.
We have no public comment on consent.
And with that, we do have to take a roll call vote today because we are virtual.
All right, thank you. Voting on item 5, and we're going to start with Director Cochran.
Yes.
Devlin.
Aye.
Giudice.
Yes.
Hernandez. Hill. Maston.
He said aye.
You say aye.
Aye.
You opened
said
his
aye.
mouth.
Holton Peters is absent. Parr is absent. Parrish is absent. Rodoni is absent. Snyder is absent. Thier.
Here. Yes.
Second Vice President Carbarino. Yes. First Vice President Hardeman.
Aye.
President Rabbit.
Aye.
Thank you. That passes.
Great, thank you. Then moving on to item number 6A, which is the report of the general manager. I'll turn it over to our general manager, Dennis Mulligan.
Yes, as one of the public speakers said, the bridge does have a birthday coming up. It doesn't look a day over 89, and it will be 89 years old on Wednesday. My written report is before you. I'll just highlight a couple items briefly because we need to save time for the 8 employees who are in the room today to be recognized. So I'm thrilled that we have that many that are able to make it today. With respect to why we're here, travel in the corridor generally is trending upward. We're still well below pre-pandemic levels, but the trend is good. April was a bit of an aberration, but it's no need to panic. March was a really strong month because we had great weather, we had Giants games and other things. April's down. This month is looking really good. Yesterday we had almost 53,000 southbound crossings, which was shocking in a good way. So April was a little bit down. Bridge traffic was down 2%. Bus ridership was down about 8%. Though there's some question about the numbers we're getting out of the bus count system. We don't think it's that, and we'll do a reset. And ferry ridership was up about 7%. But we do have less southbound traffic crossing the bridge. And so we are continuing to provide first-class service to our customers while doing it in a cost-effective fashion. I mentioned that bridge, bus, and ferry were down a little bit. If you look at below that in my report, you'll see that bikes were down a little bit also in April compared to March. We still had 255,000 people on our bridge sidewalks, bicycles and pedestrians in March, which was about almost 25,000 less than the prior month. In terms of things going on at a broader scale that impact us, the California Air Resources Board released a draft or an amended proposed regulation on April 14th of this year that does affect the money we spend to buy new buses and new ferries, and so it's worth talking about. Last year, the state legislature reauthorized the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, which was known as Cap and Trade. It was renamed Cap and Invest. And as part of that legislation, they established 3 tiers of priority. And the LC Top Low Carbon Program that we took an action on last month for buying a ferry, and the TIRCIP program. It's an alphabet soup, but it's money that all transit agencies in the state use. The proposed CARB regulation would basically zero those out. So it would be over the next decades, the loss of billions of dollars to transit agencies in the state. The California Resources Board is set to vote that on May 28th. So if you know anyone who's a CARB board member, please ask them to postpone the vote because it will impact transit agencies. Our allocation last month for LC Top was $2.8 million. TIRCIP is a competitive program we apply for and we sometimes get money for. So I just wanted to highlight that it's a change afoot that we should all be aware of. The other thing is we spend a lot of federal money for our capital programs. And so the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee last weekend released a draft bill to do a new surface transportation authorization. It's a 5-year proposal. The best way to characterize is it was better than expected in light of what's going on in Washington, D.C. It has lots of shortcomings, but as a starting point, it was quite good. It did include more money for the ferryboat discretionary program, which is something that we tap a lot. There was an amendment late last night, early this morning, to make that go away, and it failed. So the money's still in there. So more to follow on that. So there's a lot going on in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. that affects us, and we're paying attention to it. And just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. But this now brings me to the part of the meeting that I always look forward to the most, and that's employee recognition. And so we have 8 people that will be recognized today, and we're going to start with seniority. And I'll ask our bridge manager, Dave Rivera, to escort Lieutenant Hector Baugh to the front of the room. Hector Baugh he's just retired after 40 years and 5 months with the Bridge District. Hector started as a part-time lane worker, dropping those little yellow plastic things in the tubes to affect the bridge. He later became a bridge sergeant and a bridge lieutenant. He's been recognized over the years. Prior general manager wrote a letter of commendation to him. Members of the public have chimed in on what a great job he does. In his spare time, he enjoys spending time with his grandkids. He enjoys NASCAR and a whole host of things. So we just want to wish him a long, healthy retirement, because after 40 years and 5 months, you deserve it. And with that, you get the microphone.
Okay. All right, thanks. Thank you for this acknowledgement, and this is the opportunity to say thank you. When I first prepared this speech, it was 12 pages. There are so many people to thank that I limited to 5, and on my way driving to work, I cut it down to 3. Now it's down to 2, and one of them isn't even on here. Okay, so I'll start with Daniel Gomez. When I promoted to sergeant in 2008, prior to that, I was a truck driver. For 15 years, I was a truck driver. I knew nothing about office work. Daniel trained me, taught me, mentored me how to supervise toll collectors, patrol officers, and dispatch bridge service. He taught me office machinery. They had this thing called Microsoft and this other thing called Excel, and this other thing where they sent me to HR called Outlook. So he had a lot to do with my success because his training worked. Going back to when I first applied in 1983, HR was across the highway. It was located in the roundhouse. There were no safety bike rails on the bridge, which means you could literally step from the bridge sidewalk onto the roadway. Beer and wine were served regularly at Christmas parties and Thanksgiving luncheons. Okay, and like I said, there were no such thing as smartphones, emails, the internet, the welcome center. Those didn't exist. But things changed, and the one thing that hasn't changed, which I'm delightful to share with you, is the district continues to hire good people that help each other, that work with each other, and solve problems and issues. So I'm going to move on and talk to you about the person who I didn't write about. I thought about on the way to work. Her name is Mickey Love. She worked in accounting, and this is back in the 80s. And as far as we were concerned, she was accounting. And Mickey was the type of person, when you addressed her, she turned and looked at you with a smile. I mean, it's something that I miss. To walk down a hall, knock on the door, open the door, and a person is there sitting at their desk waiting to help you. I can't tell you how many times I've called the company and got a recording, sent an email, no response. It's very important. And it's just a sign of the times where availability is hit and miss. So, yeah, she she is a person that I recall when Valentine's Day came around. All the guys would chip in and buy her a dozen roses for Valentine's Day. That's how much we appreciated her. So I'm going to wrap up with, I got one quick story. So I was hired in 1985. In 1987, Pope John Paul II visited the bridge. He did the tourist thing, right? I was instructed, along with others, we were not to enter the east parking lot where he was going. So I thought to myself, well, I want to see this guy. So I stood at the west end of the Plaza Tunnel, believing that the Pope Mobile would come through there on the way back to the city. So I stood there by myself and waited. And yeah, here comes the Pope Mobile. The Pope is standing, and the Pope Mobile pulled up to the stop sign. He looked at me. I looked at him. We made eye contact. I waved to him. He smiled, and he waved back. In closing, I just want to share with you about my department, the security department. We have young, good, talented people. When I say young, a lot of those guys were born after 1985, so they just laugh at me. When I say talented, yeah, they're talented, they're skilled, and they're dedicated. It takes a certain amount of dedication to stand before a stranger and convince them to choose life. The sergeants, whatever is funneled through the sergeant's office, they make it happen. They make it work. Nothing happens without the sergeants. And our lieutenants, including our newest lieutenant, Lieutenant Jaquez, they're all solid people. They're all good people who care about the people they work with. They care about the public, and they care about the district in a whole. And, one last comment I was speaking to Dennis earlier about was the district has employed me for 40 years. That's not a small thing. I've been an employee. It sucks. Yeah, the bridge has paid me a salary. And not only that, the medical benefits, especially with a young family, it's unbelievable. So thanks to all of you here that have made these 40 years possible. Thank you. Oh, okay.
40 years, I told Hector he'd get a little bit of time to chat. 40 years is a long time, but so is 30 years. And we have a couple employees celebrating 30 years. And so I'd like to ask John Eberly to escort Kathy Amoroso to the front of the room. Kathy has been with us for 30 years. She's worked in a variety of positions, two of which were in departments that no longer exist. She was a cashier when we used to have a little gift center in what's now the Roundhouse. She was a vault officer when we would collect tolls with cash and we'd have to count the cash. She's worked in the district secretary's office, and she's in her current position as a senior engineering document control specialist in the engineering department, which is a vital role, and they rely upon her tremendously. So they don't want her retiring anytime soon. And they've had conversations about that. She's a native San Franciscan. She has two daughters in their 20s, and she enjoys concerts, sporting events, and working out, road trips, traveling, and spending time with family. And with that, you don't want to say a word.
Thank you. Yeah, you said it all for me. Thank you.
We'll do a picture, John.
You know I wouldn't do.
Next up, I'll ask Kelly Hopper to escort Thomas Kleist to the front of the room. Tomas has been with the district 30 years. He came to work for the district 5 years after arriving in San Francisco. He started as an intern in the IT department. He is vital to everything we do, and he was previously selected as the Employee of the Month in September of 2024. So, Tomas, thank you so much for all that you do for us. And like Kathy, you're not allowed to retire anytime soon. Yep. I can hold this for you.
Actually, I think that's okay.
Okay.
Can do it this way. I don't believe in coincidences, but it was actually fascinating to hear about the John Paul II because this is one of the most revered human beings in the modern Polish history. So thank you for that. But 2 weeks ago, I was down in San Diego watching my niece walk across the stage of Point Loma Nazarene University. She just graduated with her degree in nursing, excited, little nervous, wondering what the next 30 years might look like. Standing there in the middle of all that excitement, I thought to myself, I remember that moment. May 13, 1996. I walked through the doors of Golden Gate Bridge and Highway and Transportation District as a data processing intern, not the senior system engineer, not even close, an intern, which in the IT world of 1996 mostly meant I was the person responsible for any calls related to the printers. And I say printers, and I say printers loosely, because what we actually had were 2 HP 3000 mainframes printing pay stubs to a green bar impact printers. If you never heard one before, imagine a big, angry robot typing a novel, one line at a time. I was thrilled to be here. Over the next 3 decades, I worked my way through few of the titles from information systems intern, information systems assistant, data communication technician, senior system administrator, and today the senior system engineer. The technology transformed completely along the way, and I mean completely. The distance between the 10-base 2 Novell network and the system that we're running today, it's not a gap, it's a ravine. None of this journey would happen without the right people. My very first manager, Mitch Abloff, was the one who took a chance on me, hired me, trusted me, and gave me the room, sorry about this, give me the room to grow and learn in the ways I didn't even know I needed. Mitch, would you mind standing up? The best retiree ever. Mitch, I don't think I ever properly thank you for that. Consider those 30 years of gratitude, they're never overdue.
He's the only one except for my wife that makes me cry.
And I have a privilege to call him my Jewish mom, so I think we're good. Thank you, Mitch. And today, I have a privilege working under Joe Leon, manager who has a rare gift of bringing out the best around a manager who has a rare gift for bringing out the best in the people around him. Joe, working with you made me better at who I am, and I don't say this lightly. But what never changed, not even once over those 30 years, was the mission of this department to keep the bridge and everything connected to it running and running smoothly. I got to be a part of making sure the technology underneath all of that kept pace, and this is the work I'm proud of. Success is a term that means different things to different people. For me, success means having a fulfilling personal life. Success is subjective. It depends on your values, your passions, and your goals. Alan Watts once said, if you find yourself doing what you love and are passionate about, while others are willing to pay you money for it, you made it. You are happy and successful. And by that measure, I think 30 years speaks for itself. My niece is about to start her career taking people in their most vulnerable. The tools will evolve, the challenges will surprise her, and then absolutely days that test her. But when she finds the place worth showing up for, she'll be just fine. To the board, to managers, and to all of my colleagues and friends sitting up there, thank you for making 30 years feel like time well spent. Thank you, everybody.
Next, I'd like to ask Hytham Hamden to escort Diego Villabona to the front of the room. He's been a bus operator with us for 25 years. Prior to joining us, he worked as a bus operator in Napa and Santa Clarita. And most importantly, you want to give him a big round of applause because he's received a 21-year Safe Driver Award. Thank you.
I didn't prepare anything.
You don't have to.
I just want to say thank you for the recognition. I want to say thank you for keeping D3 open, and hopefully it'll be open. I don't want to sleep up there, and we need it to be open. And I want to pretty much express my gratitude for the bridge, for being able to keep this job for this long. And yeah, being able to provide for my family, that's been the most important, together with the benefits. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I wanted to say something. 25 years is nothing. This year is a special year, and Johnny Weekly is gonna be his 50th. Yeah, so hopefully there'll be a celebration or something.
For those that don't know, Johnny Weekly is a bus operator who in November will celebrate 50 years of service for the Bridge District driving a bus. He's a 2-time Employee of the Month, 1-time Employee of the Year. So he's a very unique individual. He may be the most fit person that works for the district, even though he's been driving for 50 years.
And we love him.
Hytham's going to be busy here for a little bit. Next, he gets escort Chris Way to the front of the room. Chris has been with us for also 20 years. Chris started as a bus operator, as Mr. Shane Weinstein said earlier. He then left the ATU and went to become a CalPERS member because he's one of our field supervisors. And we're very fortunate to have him as part of our team. The field supervisors are those that are out there solving problems on the street or wherever they may occur. So with that, congratulations.
Thank you, all of you. You all look so much different. I only see you're on a poster with all of your faces. So it's good to see all of you in person. 20 years goes by fast. Dennis, you read off the numbers for what the bridge provides, but it really doesn't show the true numbers of all that the bridge has taken care of. It's taken care of myself, my family, others' families in here. That number is far beyond what shows up on a piece of paper. So the bridge has been good to me. I'm thankful for it. I don't know if any other section of the bridge or ferry does this, but I'm a second generation bus operator. My father was a bus operator, and that seems to be kind of common in the bus division. I'm not sure if that happens at the bridge or the ferry, but I'm thankful that my dad said, hey, you ought to apply to be a bus operator. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the years to come. Thankful for all that the bridge has done for me and my family as a resource. And I thank God for being the source and allowing to take care of my family through the Golden Gate Bridge. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're getting there. Next up, we have Hytham escort Tomas Gutierrez to the front of the room to celebrate 20 years. He's part of the same class of bus operators, and he became a field supervisor in 2015 after driving for a while. And in his free time, he, quote, enjoys being the best Christian father, husband, and person he could possibly be. He loves to spend time in his world with his wife and his kids, and he enjoys music in his free time. But he's a fabulous person. I miss the days when he used to drive the Route 27. But like I said with Chris, the road supervisors have a challenging job because when there's a problem, they're told to go fix it. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to the bridge itself altogether. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, combat veteran, and I had a hard time when I got out of the Marine Corps, developed a big, huge drug problem, got my life in order. I was sober for 2 years when I started working here. So as soon as I came out of this job, that was a kind of transitional job for me. I started training 2 weeks after that as a bus operator. So for me, it was a big deal. It's provided to be able to buy a house. Now I have 5 kids altogether. I have 4 that are 13 and under. And so they're still, yeah. Ooh, that's right. So they're absolutely, yeah, that's right. So, but yet still, I'm super duper thankful for the bridge, for the opportunities. And I've met a lot of great people being at the bus division. Somebody who's not here meant a lot to me was Richard Hibbs. Fantastic person. He taught me a lot. The new DGM, fantastic hire. And I'm also very happy to be able to spend time with, share this time with Chris. Chris was the first person that I met in just taking the test to be a bus operator. And we've come together all the way through as operators and as supervisors. And he's been like a brother to me. So I'm able to share this experience with him. So I thank everybody and everybody that I met throughout the district. There's so many to name, and you all know who you are. I appreciate every single one of you because I think everybody adds an element to something to your life, and I try to grab some and add it to my life, and so I'm extremely grateful. So thank you. And to Dennis, because I remember he used to get on my bus and people would be like, you know who's that guy? I go, yeah, that's Dennis. They go, oh, okay, well, you got to be careful. I go, I know. Thank you.
Next, I'm pleased to announce that bus operator Brian Giroux has celebrated 20 years of service. So Hytham, could you please walk Brian to the front of the room? He joined us as a bus operator on May 8th. Oh, he's not here. Okay, well, I got to give you the quote. I thought he was going to be here. He sometimes has to be talked to for being too happy while driving his bus. So that now brings us to the Employee of the Month. The Employee of the Month committee is a committee of staff. It's not me or the other managers. And they have selected Marketing and Communication Specialist Melanie Sanborn to be the Employee of the Month. So Kelly Hopper will walk her up. This is Melanie's 3rd time being selected as the Employee of the Month. Her leadership and dedication in the regional wayfinding and mapping project is just something that her colleagues felt needed to be recognized, but her day-to-day interactions with everyone are incredibly professional. She's thoughtful, kind, incredibly hardworking, and so we just want to say thank you, Melanie. And she has a special guest with her.
Oh, yeah, so my best special guest is my mom, right there. Yay! So you can either thank her or blame her for what's happening right up here. But I'm really, really thankful for this honor because it's this is the employer of the month you're chosen by your colleagues. So it's people that I work with all the time. And despite that, they still decided to nominate me. And the project, I feel really guilty because the project that I work on is the Regional Mapping and Wayfinding Project. And it's fun for me. So I'm getting this award for something that, I get to work with other transit agencies, and then I get to come back here and bug people for their expertise and pass it on and, keep the liaison and the door open for us and the other transit agencies. So when you go out and you look and you see in Santa Rosa, we have new wayfinding signs and maps. You're the Sonoma County guy. Yeah. So, and in the Del Norte BART station, they're also up there. And then very soon, we're going to have in Larkspur, between Larkspur and the SMART train, between the ferry and the SMART train, we're going to have great wayfinding there as well. So that's the project, and it's great being able to see it. And I'm very pleased to be here to accept this.
President Rabbit, members of the board, that concludes my report, and I'm available to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions related to the general manager's report? Again, thank you, Dennis. We'll move on then to item 6B, which is the attorney's report. And today we have Julie Sherman here to provide the attorney's report. Julie, please proceed.
Thank you. I have nothing to add to the written report, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great. Are there any questions of the attorney's report today? Seeing no hands raised, we'll move on then. Thank you, Julie. We'll move on to item 6C, which is the report of the district engineer. As a reminder, the engineer's report can be found in the Building and Operating Committee meeting packet as agenda item number 6. And John Eberly is here to present the report. John, please proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, President and members of the board. The written report is in the packet. There are just a few items I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. First, the seismic retrofit project. The contractor is mobilizing to the site. Some temporary fencing is going up, and one of the first trailers was actually delivered this morning to the north end of the project, so that project is moving along. We're happy about that. I also wanted to just report that district forces are continuing with nighttime operations, installing temporary supports underneath the roadway. That's going well. And then with regard to the South Toledo project that's been going on for a while, we received from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers letter of permission, which is a construction permit to begin construction. We're now just waiting for finalization from Federal Transit Administration on that project. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions on my report.
Great. Thank you, John. Are there any questions of the engineer on his report? Seeing none, thank you very much. We'll move on then to item 8A on the agenda, which is the report from yesterday's Building and Operating Committee. And Chair Garbarino, please begin your committee's report to the board.
Thank you, President Rabbit. The Building and Operating Committee is recommending approval of board agenda item number 8A1 to authorize execution of agreement number 25R3 50,000 with the California Highway Patrol in the amount not to exceed $3,500,000 for enforcement of the construction zone speed limit and assistance with traffic diversions for nighttime lane closures during the construction of contract number 2025B052, Golden Gate Suspension Bridge Seismic Retrofit, Contract 1, North and South Towers and North and South Side Spans, and authorize establishing a 15% contingency in the amount of $525,000 for the services as detailed in the staff report, and I so move.
Great. We have a motion and a second on this item. Before I ask for the vote, are there any questions related to the item? And thank you. And Madam Secretary, can you please do a roll call vote on this item?
Thank you. We're voting on item 8A1 with a first and second, starting with Director Cochran.
Yes.
Devlin. Giudice.
Yes.
Hernandez. Hill. Maston.
Aye.
Moulton Peters is absent. Parr is absent. Parrish is absent. Verdoni is absent. Snyder is absent. Thier? Second Vice President Garbarino?
Aye.
First Vice President Hardeman? And President Rabbit?
Aye.
Thank you. That passes unanimous with all those present.
Great. Thank you very much. Chair Garbarino, please continue with your report.
Thank you again, President Rabbit. The last item for recommendation is the approval of item number 8A2 to authorize execution of a professional services agreement number 2026B012, Golden Gate Suspension Bridge Seismic Retrofit Contract 1, North and South Towers and North and South Side Span, construction scheduling and claim review services to Secretariat Advisors, LLC El Segundo, in the amount not to exceed $7,555,893.19, subject to the district receiving the California Department of Transportation approval of the PSA prior to this execution, and authorize establishing a 10% contingency in the amount of $755,590 for PSA number 2026B012, as detailed in the staff report, and I so move.
So we have a motion and a second on this item, and I'll ask, you could please have a roll call vote.
Thank you. Voting on item 8A2 with the first and second, starting with Director Cochran. Yes. Devlin. Aye. Giudice.
Yes.
Hernandez. Hill. Yes. Maston.
Aye. Aye.
Thumbs aye. Yeah. Okay. We couldn't hear you again.
Oh, darn.
There we go. Thank you. Moulton Peters is absent. Parr is absent. Parrish is absent. Verdoni is absent. Snyder is absent. Thier?
Aye.
Second Vice President Garbarino?
Aye.
First Vice President Hardeman? Aye. And President Rabbit?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes with everyone present.
Great. Thank you, Chair Garbarino. Anything further to report?
Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Moving on, we have nothing other items 9, 10, and 11. So we'll continue to item 12A, which is report on meetings and conferences attended by directors. And I will just let you know that on Wednesday, I think it was a Wednesday, May 13th, 2026, myself, America Wong, and Dennis Mulligan did travel to Sacramento to meet with our legislators' offices and our legislators themselves regarding two items that the bridge is looking to move forward on. One of which I think you've heard is the ability to provide bonding for the bridge through a conduit issuer, provide the flexibility needed as we move into these last two phases of the seismic upgrade, as well as to let our feelings be known about the CARB ruling that came out, and to look for, make sure that those dollars can continue to flow to the district. And very appreciative of Platinum Advisors, Bo Biller and Steve Wallach, for leading us around. We had 7 scheduled meetings, but as is the case, I think, with Platinum, we ended up talking to maybe 2 or 3 other legislators, either in the hallway or convenient time in their office. And with that, I'll ask Dennis if I forgot anything on that.
Nope, you covered it all. Thank you, President.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions on that report? I will also mention that we were able to pass along language that it was immediately through Senator Wiener's office sent to council to be revised and accepted and whatnot. So progress is being made, and we very much appreciate the collaboration that we had up there, and certainly the advocacy of Platinum. Just to mention too that Director Snyder was to join us that day, but a work issue came up and he had to go off to Nevada to take care of that. So if there's no action, there is no action associated with item 12A. Moving on, item number 13 is communications, of which a revised version was provided at the beginning of the meeting. If you would like to receive a copy of the communication listed, please contact the district secretary's office. That takes us to the end of the agenda, and there are no further items to be presented to the board. So I'll look for a motion to adjourn. So we have a motion and a second. And again, thank you, everyone. We are going to adjourn this meeting with a moment of silence. If you'll join me, please.
And before everybody leaves afterwards, we will go into a public hearing that hopefully won't take too much longer. It was supposed to start at 11 or immediately after the board meeting.
Great, thank you for that reminder. We are going to adjourn today in the memory of Larry Mazzola Sr., obviously a well-known labor leader and former director. Thank you all. That concludes our meeting of the Board of Directors at 11:23, and we will be having that public hearing
11:30.
at 11:30.